us. We will start very shortly. Well, welcome everyone. Chloe here from the Great British Entrepreneur Awards. Welcome to our 2021 Finalist Announcement Workshops in partnership with Funding Options. Thank you for joining us today. This has been a record-breaking year for the Great British Entrepreneur Awards with 4,800 applications received this year. We're really excited to announce our finalists for the Food and Drink Entrepreneur of the Year category. But before we do, we are joined by Nick Coleman, founder of Snaffling Pig. Nick won Great British Entrepreneur of the Year for London in 2019 with us and National Food and Drink Entrepreneur of the Year in the same year. And Nick will be sharing his entrepreneurial story with us today and how winning the Great British Entrepreneur Awards has impacted his business. If you would like to ask any questions, you can pop them in the Q&A function and we'll try our best to answer these later on. And with that, I'll hand over to Ryan Hyde-Smith of Funding Options, who will be hosting today's session. Thanks, Ryan.
Perfect. Thanks, Chloe. So firstly, I'll give you a quick introduction about myself. So I'm Ryan. I'm the head of sales here at Funding Options. In terms of Funding Options and who we are and what we do, so Funding Options supports business owners across the UK and the Netherlands, connecting them to the right funding so they can trade, plan and grow with confidence. And to date, we've helped over 10,000 businesses access over $500 million in vital funding across the UK and the Netherlands. So today I have the pleasure of speaking with Nick Coleman from the Snaffling Pig. How are you today, Nick?
I'm very good, thank you very much. Got my hat on.
Perfect, love to see it. And I've got the t-shirt on as well. Nick, a good place to start. Can you please tell us a bit about your business at the Snaffling Pig?
Yeah, so I'm Nick Coleman. I'm the CEO and founder of Snaffling Pig. We started about 6 years ago and we wanted to create awesome flavored porky snacks and sell them to places that they've never been before. So we launched a range of flavored pork crackling that's sold in the typical Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda, Morrisons. We also do jars of pork snacks in John Lewis. We do advent calendars. We've recently released a sausage roll in Asda. We've got chorizo in every Tesco store. And we're just trying to keep expanding the product range and almost become a lifestyle brand rather than just a food and drink company. It's kind of thinking of how do you take this to the next level, really, and have a lot of fun in the process where we don't take ourselves too seriously. We enjoy life and love what we do.
That's fantastic. And I think I sort of mentioned in the email before, I'm a big fan of the salt and vinegar flavour, and the chorizo bites are brilliant as well, so I can highly recommend. You mentioned about sort of taking the business to the next level, and I guess funding can be a part of that. Are you able to talk us through your funding journey today?
Yeah, it's something that's kept us up at night. I mean, no matter how good your business is, if your cash flow is poor, you're not going to survive, no matter how profitable you are. When we launched, we started with just £500. And that enabled us to get the business going. I'm a big believer in minimal viable product and doing the most you possibly can with the least amount of money to prove that the concept works, to prove that you've got a great product. And then only once have you got a great product, then you can start to invest more in the brand and develop that further. But there's no point spending a lot of money building a brand if the product is not good enough to stand on its own two legs. So we did that. We started with 500 quid. As you can imagine, that disappears in a heartbeat. The next thing we did is we got a little bit of seed investment from the founders. So it's myself and Udi Silva. And we put a little bit of cash in there, about 11 grand altogether. At which point we then went on Dragon's Den. We raised £70,000 from Nick Jenkins. And then about 2 years ago, we did some crowdfunding as well. And I can hand on heart say that the only thing that has ever kept me up at night is paying the bills. And the moment your cash flow goes negative, the moment you start to panic about, do you have enough cash in the bank to pay the staff or your suppliers? It's a horrible place to be. And I think it's really important that, as you grow your business, you think, 12 months, 18 months, 2 years, even in advance, to think about what cash do you need to run that business. And we've tried lots of funding options. That order has worked really well for us. I hope we don't have to raise money again in the near future, but having just had to deal with a pandemic, who knows what's around the next corner. And it's just really kind of being open to options out there. We always try not to give away shares at the beginning. It's kind of, your business is not worth anything at the beginning, so it's really kind of important you try and own as much as you can. But as you grow and develop and you need more money, of course you're going to have a look at offering equity. But raising debt against the business is a great thing to start. But whether you're prepared to risk that kind of level of debt, we had to put personal guarantees in and all kinds of things. So it's been a roller coaster of emotion when it comes to funding. But we as any business, we're never through. You're not at the end of it. You've got to keep looking at it and keep thinking about what to do next. Yeah,
that's really interesting regarding the sort of cash flow as well. And I'm glad you've had sort of a successful way of raising funding to date. We're starting to see that a lot with funding options in terms of customers coming to us. Cash flow is the main purpose that sort of people come and look for funding, because it is so important, like you say. What advice would you give to food and drink businesses who are wanting to scale up their brand?
I just think food and drink is the best category to start a business in. I have no interest in any other sector. Food and drink is so exciting. It's so emotional. Everyone does it. Everyone has to eat and drink. And there's so much opportunity for small brands now. It's amazing to see the support that the big supermarkets and retailers are giving to the little guy. We really have an opportunity here as a small business to take on the behemoths of Cadbury's and some of the huge breweries. And there's just so much opportunity. It's not like 20 years ago where you had to be a national brand. You can start incredibly small. I mean, my big advice to anyone who's passionate about starting a food and drink business is to focus on the product first. Don't try and create a brand immediately. Just make sure that recipe is perfect. Make sure you've got a really unique selling point. If you're going to develop brownies, just make sure they're different. Otherwise, it's just another brownie, and it's just going to be lost in a sea of other brownies. So find something that's very, very different. Think about the trends that are happening. Everyone is talking about veganism. Everyone is talking about health. That doesn't mean you need to launch another vegan healthy product. There's always going to be opportunities in looking at, when the world zigs, you zag. There's always opportunity to look at the anti-trends and think very carefully about, I guess, when you raise money, is that you just don't spank it on a shiny logo and huge amounts of money for an agency to tell you what your packaging should look like. If you've got a really good product and you can sell it in a see-through bag with a black logo that's handwritten, you're onto a good thing. And then as you develop that brand, you're only going to be kind of adding the cherry on the cake. And it's just really important to think kind of product first and brand second. And for us, Snaffling Pig, we don't just worry about having one product out there in one channel. There's lots of brands who they want to land Tesco and great, but we want to be in direct to consumer. We want thousands of customers, and we want hundreds, if not thousands, of products, because that will really spread our risk and enable us to have a lot more fun and grow, for us, what we believe is going to be a much longer term brand. And something that people, no matter who you are, will kind of appreciate and interact with something. Because it doesn't matter if you don't drink cider or don't drink beer, or you're meat eater or not, because we kind of have a product for everybody. But that's not trying to be something to everyone. It's you got to make sure you build a brand that has meaning and has purpose. And the big word is authenticity. There's too many brands who have just forgotten who they are and lost it, because they're just not authentic at heart and humble. And I've thrown a lot of words there at you. Sorry.
No, it's all good. Great advice.
Advice is to not waffle.
No, it's also a fantastic bit of advice there. And what you sort of mentioned at the start about sort of passion, you can definitely hear how much passion you speak with, and it's really enjoyable to listen to and really refreshing.
Thank you very much. I mean, I'm definitely passionate about what I do. I think food and drink is just awesome. Who cares about the other categories today? Food is just the place to be. It is so exciting, and there's just so much going on. And you can be the next biggest brand in the UK starting out in the food and drink industry, because there is that opportunity with the customer base. They are really supportive. And if you can't land a Tesco, don't worry about it. You can do direct to consumer. You can get a Shopify website and you can be up and running tomorrow. using a third-party logistics company to do your shipping for you. So yeah, huge opportunity and very exciting.
Fantastic. And just last question for myself, Nick. So what has winning the Great British Entrepreneur Award done for you and your business?
Do you know what? Probably everyone says this, but I was completely and utterly shocked to have won that. I did not expect it. Still don't think I deserve it. It really, for me, I mean, I cried. It was running a business is incredibly tough. You have some really dark moments. I've cried a lot at Snaffling Pig because of things that are happening out of our control. You panic, you worry, you're anxious. Sometimes you just want to hide under the bed sheets and not get up in the morning. When you win an award like this, it is that recognition from your peers, from people you inspire to be like, to people you trust, I'm just so honored to the alumni, alone, to be part of that list. And it's not just, I was the guy who had the name on the award, but the entire team deserved that. We won the Great British Food and Drink Award, and our team have been recognised for that. And my mum's got the picture you gave me of me, my beaming smile in her lounge. It's incredibly embarrassing, but she's won it as well. She feels proud about this. So it takes a lot of time to invest in applying for these kind of awards, but if you are lucky enough to be shortlisted, and even better to win it, it's just an incredible thing to be part of, and to take a moment to realize that what you're doing is all right, that you're doing a good thing, and those hard hours that you've put in and those sleepless nights are kind of worth it, and your team will love the recognition. So whatever the outcome of today for everybody, well done starting your business. That's the hardest thing. And then if you get shortlisted, you are the creme de la creme. So well done.
Perfect. And just echoing your words, so congratulations and good luck to all the businesses who have applied. I think we've got time for just one quick question from Ugo. How much money do you spend on marketing to target direct customers?
Yeah, I mean, we don't define marketing as like a small part, the advertising element of it. We very much see it as a huge part of our business. So it's in the millions if you think about how much money we're spending on the whole brand. We probably spend about 450 grand on Facebook, probably the same on Google. But we also do a lot of sales generated marketing. So we will invest a lot of money building a product that speaks for itself. So this year we launched a pork scratching Easter egg. It was an amazing PR opportunity. It got picked up by Amazon as like the greatest non-chocolate Easter egg this year. That alone, kind of all that PR that you get, the customers that buy that product that then go on to buy your chorizo in store or buy a product later on in the year. So that's part of the marketing as well. But that sounds like scary figures. It does to me. I mean, gosh, I'm spending all that money on Facebook and Google. It frightens me. But you start small. You don't just go, I'm going to do that. You look at your cost of customer acquisition, and if if every pound that you spend on advertising generates £1.50 in sales, and it's still generating you a profit, then of course you can just keep spending and spending and spending, providing you have the right cash flow and the right funding behind you to keep pushing that. So start small, think big, and act fast.
Perfect. Thanks for that, Nick. Well, thanks for your time as well today. It's been a pleasure learning about your business at the Snaffling Pig and your journey today. It's been really interesting. I'm sure everyone on the webinar feels the same. So thank you, Nick.
Thank you very much.
Perfect. And I'd like to wish all the businesses all the best and good luck. And that concludes our interview.
Thanks, Ryan. And we will now announce the shortlist for Food and Drink Entrepreneur of the Year 2021. Well, there we have it. Congratulations to all of the finalists for our food and drink category. Our team will be in touch later on today with some assets on how you can shout about being shortlisted. A big thank you to Ryan and to Nick for joining us this afternoon, and hope everyone has a great day.